So you have a big collection of Blu-ray movies that you've built over the years, and now 4K Blu-ray comes along and you're wondering if it's worth the upgrade. Well, lucky for you, in this video, I'm going to share some details about the 4K format and some pros and cons of upgrading your collection from DVD or Blu-ray to 4K so you can make an informed decision about whether it's worth it. So let's dive in. So first, you may be asking yourself, what's required to play these 4K Blu-ray discs? Well, for one, you're going to want to have a 4K capable TV or a 4K capable projector. And in addition to that, you're going to want to have a 4K Blu-ray player. And I've made some videos about 4K Blu-ray players, which you can find in the description down below. And in addition to that, you're going to want to have a Dolby Atmos compatible sound system if you want to take full advantage of the audio capabilities of one of these 4K discs. So now that you know what's required, let's dive into the pros and cons, starting with the positives. 4K Blu-rays offer the best quality audio and video because they take advantage of a larger multi-layered Blu-ray disc which can fit more content on it in the form of a much higher resolution picture from the original movie, and as well as that, they take advantage of higher audio formats like DTS-X and Dolby Atmos. And that makes a big difference when you're experiencing one of these movies, and that's the biggest thing that differentiates these from lower formats like Blu-ray and DVD. Now, with that being said, the jump in video quality from Blu-ray to 4K Blu-ray is not as significant as what we saw with the transition from DVD to Blu-ray, and that's because the increase in resolution is not as substantial going from Blu-ray to 4K as it was from DVD to Blu-ray. And with that being said, though, 4K Blu-rays do offer something called HDR, or high dynamic range, and this greatly increases the contrast and vibrancy of the colors in the movie. And with that, you have a much more vibrant picture, especially on a modern 4K TV like an OLED. And if you pair this with the right technology to take advantage of that on your TV or projector, as well as a sound system that takes advantage of Dolby Atmos or DTS-X, then you're going to have a much better experience than you did with Blu-ray. Next, many 4K Blu-rays have been restored and have updated versions of the films on them from what they originally were on DVD or Blu-ray. Some 4K Blu-rays are just upscales of movies that have been released on lower formats, but there are many that have been fully restored from the original camera negatives, such as by boutique Blu-rays like Criterion or Arrow Video, for example. This can make for a much better viewing experience. One example is Arrow Video's release of the movie Hugo. This is one of my favorite 4K movies. And this is one of the most incredible 4K movies I've seen because of all the work that Arrow Video put into this restoration of this film, as well as all the packaging and extras they included and special features and everything. If you're a true collector of movies and you really appreciate films and seeing everything about them, these are some of the best kinds of releases you can buy. You'll really appreciate the 4K releases that are out there from these boutique Blu-ray labels. Lastly, many limited 4K releases will have unique special features and extras that haven't been released before on a lower format. And sure, Blu-ray releases still do have some special features, but again, the boutique Blu-ray labels take this to a whole nother level, and they're very unique limited edition releases that are catered towards collectors specifically, and that's a great benefit if you're looking to collect movies. And there's also some great box sets coming out from these boutique labels as well. And they will do special releases on regular Blu-ray too, but I found that the 4K releases are usually the best ones. Alright, but now let's talk about some of the cons or downsides of upgrading to 4K Blu-rays, because it's not all positive. So the main downside with 4K Blu-rays is their price. Not only do 4K Blu-ray players require updated equipment to take advantage of all their features like updated sound systems, TVs, but also the discs themselves are significantly more expensive than DVDs or Blu-rays. Typically, 4K Blu-rays are going to be about twice as expensive as a regular Blu-ray when new. And of course, there are ways to save money on them, such as buying them on the used market, but there's no denying that regardless of how you buy them, there is somewhat of a significant cost increase involved with updating your collection to this format. And personally, I found that it's worth it for me for some of my favorite films, but depending on what the release is, you may consider just updating some of your collection if you want to have some of these extra benefits, but not your entire collection. That's another way people will go about this. And on that note, my second point here with the cons is some 4K releases are actually worse than the regular Blu-ray releases, unfortunately. And a couple examples of this are films like Terminator 2 or Pirates of the Caribbean, where the lighting in certain aspects of these movies is not great, and the original Blu-ray release actually looked better. And these films offer a better viewing experience because they weren't properly optimized for the 4K format when they came out. There was some further editing and updates that should have been done for these films to make them a great release. And that's where I appreciate when companies like Arrow Video and some of the boutique labels take some of these films and do the release right, where some of the major studios will sometimes rush these out, just do a basic upscale of them, and not give them the attention they deserve. We've seen some issues with that with Disney and multiple other big companies putting out physical media releases on the 4K format. And in some cases, you'll even find that the streaming services that some of these companies have, like for example, Disney Plus, sometimes Disney Plus will get features for a certain movie that the 4K release didn't get, which is crazy. So it's important with any movies you're buying on the 4K format to be aware of the quality of the release, look at some reviews online, see if it actually is a better release than what's come out previously, because it isn't always going to be. And while when you buy a 4K, you always pretty much always get the Blu-ray included with it as well. So if one's better than the other, you're still going to have both. But it may not be worth updating something that's already in your collection on Blu-ray if the 4K is not as good. All right, and lastly, not everything is available on the 4K format. We're continually getting new 4K releases still, luckily, but there are still some movies that you're only going to be able to get on a lower format like Blu-ray, DVD, or even VHS. And hopefully that'll change more over time and we'll get a lot more great 4K releases, but 4K hasn't been adopted as quickly as the prior formats have. Really, DVD is still the, I don't know if I'd say most popular format, but the most abundant format for movies out there right now. And 4Ks has just been adopted a lot slower, especially with streaming services taking some of the market share and all of that. But if you really are dedicated to collecting movies, I would definitely look further into the 4K format. In conclusion, deciding whether to upgrade your collection to 4K can be a tough decision, but I hope this video gave you some needed information to make an informed decision with your collection. And let me know in the comments below too if you're planning to update your collection or if you have any additional questions about this. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below to stay updated on my latest videos. And also check out the videos I have linked above where I discuss the best 4K Blu-ray players you can buy for every budget, as well as the best TVs you can buy for every budget in 2024. And let's keep this conversation going. I'm hoping to put out more videos like this where I can help you make decisions about your collection and your home theater and what decisions make sense with upgrading. And if you have any other ideas for videos you'd like me to put out, put those in the comments down below too. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.